Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the Fantasy Rugby Games. My name's Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glover.
Welcome in. It's fantasy time. Let's do it. We got a few things to talk about the goings on in the fantasy universe. I'm looking forward to it. I'm cracking another one because I can.
I'm still on my first. I'm good.
Right.
It's all right. I'm on my second bowl, so it doesn't matter.
I'm a consenting adult. Get yourself a get George a coffee. Because
right. As always,
if you're listening to us, you should be listening to him too. Because he's definitely worth it. Or a beer, however you want to phrase it. It's all good.
Right.
Make sure you grab your TRM upgrades to help the restart rugby. Again, another great an organization that just needs to be have a bigger reach. And the one way that's going to happen is if they get a little bit more coin in the pocket, and you get something cool back with all the TRM upgrades. So that's cool.
Right.
And then don't forget about our Patreon. Thank you once again to Alex and Duncan. We appreciate it very much.
I hope it's I hope you're getting good shit from it.
Yeah, we hope
not so much you, Duncan.
Yeah, listen,
that's too
I need
much.
to catch you first, Duncan, and then we can talk about it. All right. But yeah, sounds like Alex is doing really good in his this is his first season in TRM, and he's doing pretty well. So hopefully we can keep him there with a little bit of help. So yeah, we appreciate that, and don't forget you guys can get it too. Just go sign up.
Right.
It's $5 a month. You spend that on beer easily.
And it'll help you with, talking trash.
Say if you want to avoid a really nasty forfeit amongst your friends, maybe do that.
Right.
$5 a month, I think, will be totally worth not being embarrassed.
Right. And it's, again, stats it's a little bit of analytics you won't get elsewhere.
Yeah. I call it Frankenstein.
it's there's a lot to it.
Affectionately, I call it Frankenstein.
There's a lot to it. Both player and team information that when combined can be used very nicely for evil purposes of winning fantasy rugby
with your powers combined. Oh
right.
Wait, sorry, that's not this.
Yeah.
Let's look at a TRM week recap. First of all, Champion Inc. won, and movement was minimum, to say the least. Duncan and Justin switched spots, and myself and Anton switched spots. Anton is on the struggle bus, unfortunately.
He is. That was an unfortunate weekend for him. Liebenberg, the only Leicester player who didn't score.
Yeah, his card did not help at all.
Right. And he had to play Baron Jens van Rensburg at 10. So yeah, he was not. He was hurting.
Sometimes bite the bullet, man.
Right. It would have worked better if he'd played Conan at 10, and brought Crossdale in. But oof, that's harsh.
Yep, that's a rough one.
Yeah,
that is a rough one. So the standings don't change, have a whole lot of changes them, as nobody will be shocked about. Ben's still on top by good 100 points or so, 90 points.
Yeah, I dropped 40 this weekend. So
yeah, you said that.
Yeah, I went big. I decided. I'm still mad about the lack of the line out reception.
Yeah, but we know that's points. Not TRM's problem now, at least.
Well, it kind of is. It's annoying. We're not getting points.
It's annoying, but it's not something that they can control.
Right.
They have no control over it. So.
Opta needs to sort that shit out, because that's if you're going to offer that service, then fucking get it right.
Yeah, get it right, you dingleberries. So yeah, Ben's on top. Duncan has now moved up to second. Justin, Carrick, George, Mark, myself has finally climbed out of the basement, and Anton has switched places with me. Although there's only a 13-point difference or 14-point difference there, not by much. So one good week gets you out.
Yep.
Let's go to Division 2. I imagine there's a little bit of movement in that one as well. Maybe a little bit more movement, I should say. Yep, Franco has unseated John at the top. So there we go with that one. Terry has climbed up a little bit. He jumped ahead of Liano, and the bottom three did not change a wink. Larry, Yuri, and Bob are your bottom three, going in reverse order there. So yeah, it's getting competitive, it looks like. Let's see, there's 3 guys over 2,000. Everybody else is under it. Larry is he's not doing us justice, although last week was actually quite good. He had 410.
Okay, good.
So that's not bad. Yeah, so he's not doing the marks any good here.
Right. I think I just realized that this week was the first week so far the TR and in TRM that I have not been the top scorer in the Champions League. So I'm
That I
kind of
can't
sad about
confirm.
that.
So don't have the answer for that one.
I was there. It was always going to end someday.
Yeah. Well,
Eventually, when you
got
guys get
how
me.
many? You get 20 odd weeks in this thing.
Right.
Yeah, you're not gonna get them all.
Damn
That's
it.
just life, man. FRW action. Anton took down Justin. Mark beat up on Carrick. Freaking Max Malins just cost me a huge. Every time I was excited he scored, I was like,
Yeah, I
shit,
was like,
Duncan
oh.
has him as his captain. So I was like, fuck. And
Oh,
then,
captain too. Yeah.
yeah. So I lost to that one. And then
Hmm.
you and George in a freaking knockout drag out, 80 to 92. Neither one of you deserve to lose that one.
No, he had like in the 70s, and I was like, good. I think I looked through his team, and I didn't think he'd have much in the way of scoring, but I think he had Montoya. And
Ooh, there you go.
no, I had Montoya. I can't remember. He had somebody who just kept fucking scoring, and it pissed me off. Um,
Let's see. He had who was the big one on his team here? He had Nadolo and he captained
right,
him.
right. He captained Adola. That was what really
That was a big one.
that was it.
Yep. And he had Shields, and Shields had a good day, and Creevy.
Yeah. Oh, Creevy, that's who it was.
Yeah.
Creevy. Creevy had a huge day. Creevy
Yeah.
kept scoring, and it was like, God damn it. This is
You overcame a couple of negatives too. Kenningham had negative,
Yeah.
Hepburn had negative. Any negatives on your side? Yeah, Nikki. Ugh,
Mhm.
poor Nikki.
Yeah.
But
He's
yeah,
rough. It's rough on him with when Itoji comes back.
yeah, it is.
Kind of gets shunned to
He's
the
no
side.
longer that focus of attention that he usually
Yeah.
is when he's not when Miles away. Well, that's how it goes, man. So let's have a look at this week, and we already know one matchup. Ben and I do. Two guesses as to what that is. Carrick and Anton will do battle. It's Justin and Duncan, Mark and George, and of course, Ben gets to kick my ass once again. Here's your dollar. Maybe I'll get the first one against you. If you're my first win, I'm gonna fucking laugh.
I will probably laugh too, and Farrell will still be disappointed in my team.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that icon. Oh shit. Okay. Let's talk about a couple things fantasy wise that are going to be coming up. So we know. Let's go with the first one, which is captain's rankings. It is huge in TRM. It is a difference maker, and we saw the difference between somebody captaining, Ellis Genge, who did really well week one, and somebody who, basically anybody else at that point.
Right.
So there's a few names that are out there that I think you'll see more often than not captained, assuming they start. And so as far as these, so I got 10 names here for you.
Right.
See if we can sort them out. Maybe you can go who goes to the bottom and who goes to the top, and work our way in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll rattle them off, and then we'll go at one at a time. Genge, Dombrant, Creevy, Sam Simmons, Tom Willis, Lina, Dolly, Quirk, Malins, and Morrow. So those are probably going to be some of your more often captain players.
Right.
Throw Montoya in
for
for Dolly as well. So if Dolly equals Montoya as
although
well.
at this point, I don't know that I wouldn't captain either. They'd be immediately moving to the last, because they're not going to get the 60-point bonus probably, because
60-minute bonus. Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. Sorry. 60-minute. Because why wouldn't have the starter play 50-55 and then bring on a fucking excellent hooker for 20 to 25, 25, 30 minutes? Yes, please. Like, yeah, that's not
you're sticking Dolly / Montoya last.
Yeah, for now, at least.
So that leaves Genge, Dombrant, Gus, Simmons, Willis, Lina, Quirk, Malins, and Morrow.
So the forwards all go up, although Malins, it's hard to not. It depends on their lineup. That's the thing.
Right.
Malins is lineup dependent, so he kind of moves down to the bottom. He's probably my 9. Creevy. Let me take a look at Creevy a second. He's not in consideration for me.
It's one of the top point scorers.
And yeah, he is. Hold on, let me get to I want to see what his numbers
look like.
Say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
using the information I have compiled, because I just hadn't really, again.
Me personally, this week, speaking on Creevy, I have Gus as my number 2 hooker this week.
And
that's behind Matavesi.
And that's not, that's no question. Creevy's been excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that, I mean, he's only scored once under 20. So then yes, he's up there. I just don't know, but he's also capped out at 45. That's the other thing. There might be a ceiling there for him. Whereas like Dombrandt's hit 70.
Right.
And Genge has hit in the 50s. He's hit 50, 43, like he 58. Shit. He's a guy who you can consider will score you almost at least 30. I mean, his lowest is 20 points now, and it was this past week, where they took him out early because they were just blowing out the other team. They were like, we're not going to get you hurt. You're coming off.
Mm-hmm.
So they were playing too well for him to continue playing and scoring. That's really the risk there with Genge, and going away. Willis has got to be up there. Willis has to be up there. As a it's hard to create a tiers, but he's in my top tier.
Right.
Of them, like top 3 or 4, because you got Genge, Dombrandt, Simmons, Itoji, Willis. I think those would be my top 5 right there. Okay. If you're captaining any one of them, you're doing all right. You're not making a wrong decision.
You'll probably make it's a good decision either way, likely.
Right.
Yeah. And that's definitely the thing. You don't want to make the absolute wrong decision either. Like, I didn't captain Dom the other week when he got 70, and obviously we're all kicking ourselves that didn't, but I think I still captained Willis. He got like 24, 25. So it could have been worse.
Right. And I got somebody again who got,
you got somewhere in the neighborhood as well.
Right. Like I get Genge who got 43. And so captaining him got me 86 points. So it's like, okay, I got one guy with 86, the other guy with 76. I'm all right. Cool.
Yeah, not mad about it.
No, yeah.
All right. So with those 5 in order there, of these 3, order them: Gus, Lina, Quirk.
I think that was it. Actually, I think I would go Gus, Lina, Malins, Quirk.
Okay.
Just because scrum half can be that's too hit and miss, because it takes one team that just decides to shut him down and make especially for Sale. If some defense is going to come to the correct conclusion that they don't really distribute well, and once you get it past the 10, they're no threat at all, unless you overcommit and all that. Yeah. Someone's going to figure out that really all they have to do is shut down Quirky, and that just kills the rest of their attack. Right. And then at that point, he's going to be done. The rest can make their own points.
Yeah.
Malins he's always going to have someone good running with him. He'll score. Lina,
seems to be, yeah.
He will always have a fly half. He will always have a fucking world-class fly half. Yes.
Right. He's got a couple of them at his disposal right now. So
it's all Gus with the line out wins and the running and the tries. You always want to find a player that's on a team that's mauling well, and the Irish are mauling well. So
correct. That is true. Okay, so our winners are our top 10 look like Genge, Dom, Simmons, Itoje, Willis, Gus, Lina, Max Malins, Rafi Quirk, and Nick Dolly, only for the fact that Nick Dolly has another really good hooker sitting behind him. So as good as it is for Leicester, it's a bad thing for Nick Dolly.
And once once autumn internationals are over, it's Marcus Smith is up there, and up there very high.
Right. Yeah, we'll wait for that to happen, but
yeah,
gotta make sure that 1, he doesn't break, and 2,
right,
2, and that he's obviously not going to be too battered just the same. Even if he doesn't break, he might be a little gassed.
Right.
Also not helpful.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not going to be like right away. You're going to wait like a week or 2, and then slot him in there, and don't worry about it.
Yep. Okay, so we have some big names here that are going to be missing time, and it's going to be all about who's going to replace it. So let's throw out a couple names that are gonna, a name or two that's going to miss, and then we'll think of some ideas that might help you out there. Hopefully, you have him on your team already.
Mm-hmm.
So Genj is going to be away for all money. He's probably going to start for England.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be away. So you need another prop, and it doesn't have to be a loose head. It just needs to be another prop.
Right. Makes it very easy.
Is Dan Cole now the answer? Like you can just trade out one Tiger for the other? Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
No, Coley's not that good.
He's been better, but
he's been all right. But even this past week, he had 8 points. He hasn't cracked 20 yet. So no, he's not your guy. Your guy is, especially because you're going to lose some, especially for the internationals, you're going to lose some here or there. You're going to want to pick up a Wilco Low, who did not make the South Africa. Right. So he's back at Harlequins. And he'll be scoring points.
If he actually fucking started soon.
He will. I'm sure he will. So yeah, once he's in, he should be in. He should be in your team.
Right. At the hook position, there's going to be 2 big names that are highly owned right now that are going to miss time. And that's Matavesi and Nick Dolly. Matavesi's been picked for Fiji. He's probably going to be one of their better players, honestly. And then Nick Dolly's going to miss a little bit of time, likely, even if he doesn't start for England. So, but there are so many good position guys to go back into. And if you need somebody cheap, the guy that I'm staring a hole through right now is Tom Wilsoncroft.
I was just going to say Tom Woolley. Absolutely, he's your guy. Yeah. It's a like for like replacement. It's especially that it makes it so easy to switch in and out. You don't have to worry about, do I got a clear salary or anything. Yeah, Wollstonecroft's your man.
Yeah, he'll be less than what you probably paid. So
right, and he'll make you some cash. He'll grow your investment there.
Right.
As opposed to some of the other guys who might not.
Yes, definitely. Guys that I personally love to play or love seeing when they're in are guys like Maro Toje and Sam Skinner. Lots of lock options, really. Like you can pick the lot, and there's plenty to go.
Tons.
Fafita is obviously an expensiver one, but even Harry Wells is not that expensive anymore.
He's dirt cheap and he's scoring well. He had, I mean, he disappointed because of the lineouts situation.
Right.
That he's there, one of their guys to go grab them. But he even still got 23 this weekend, so I'll take it.
Yeah,
it wasn't what I wanted, but I'll take it. Yeah,
and then we talked about a guy that doesn't do well when he's got his buddy in there, but when he doesn't, he's great, and that's Nick Asikwe, like for like as well at Ceres. Right. So another guy that you can probably keep on your radar for the international window here.
Here's a surprise.
Shoot.
A real surprise who it might not be, and it's not fair because it's another Quinn, so you might not have room for him anyway. Dino Lamb.
Mm-hmm. Quite good.
At under 150 right now.
Yep.
And he has scored 39, 24, 28 in the last 3 matches.
He's playing Stefan Levise's role right now.
Right.
And that's exactly what it is.
And he's playing it very well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Right.
It's really not fair.
Damn it. It didn't need to be another Quinn. I already got a bunch. Although right. I think I might be ditching one of them this week. So we'll see. Back row. Not a lot's going to be lost in terms of the big scorers at the back row.
Earl and Willis
certainly a flank at the very least. Yeah, Tom Willis at 8 and Ben Earl at flank. Earl's finally come around. Too bad I dropped him, but whatever. I'll get over it.
I stuck with
it. Curry, who scores well despite what we think. Despite our opinions of him, he still scores well.
Because he does the turnovers alone.
Are usually pretty big.
That's that you get so many points for that. So
yes, you do. So that there's that. And then obviously an 8-man. Sam Simmons, Don Brent will be away. Tom Willis is an obvious replacement, but there's one cheaper option out there that I hope people keep their eye on, and he plays up in Kingston Park, and his name's Carl Ferns. And he's actually pretty good, and he's not too expensive.
He's been very good.
So yeah, just turn your eye towards the tune every once in a while, and they'll usually give you something decent. So there's that. Halfback, Alex Mitchell wasn't on the team. He's one of my favorite scrum halves.
Right. Yep.
So I'm not mad about that. I actually might end
No,
up dropping one of my somebody to pick up him this week.
I think I might too, because I think I'm not sure that Ella Davies is going to be the runner that I thought he would be.
No,
So
yeah, same. As far as this week goes itself, out of 10 scrum halves, he's 10th for me this week.
Yeah.
So that's what that is at.
Yeah.
But yeah, and even with that, it's Alex Mitchell. Jack Maunder's not that bad. And I don't want to say that loud because I feel like I'm going to put the hex on the kid, but he's actually been pretty good. A bar last week. Last week was not good. But really, since the start of the season, he's actually been very serviceable at a not bad price.
I got to plug Ben White.
Yeah, I know. We need Nick Phipps to go away sometime soon here.
Yeah, I mean,
Phipps, go find yourself in the ocean somewhere or something.
Ben White scored 19 from the bench.
17.
Sorry.
Yep, close.
From
still good. Still good from the bench.
Right. I mean, that's and he's done that before. I think he got 20 from the bench before. So he's just tearing up points, whether or not he starts. So he's a guy who, and he's only he's in like 170. He's I think 170, maybe.
Somebody to stick on your bench for when he plays.
Right.
I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Fly half is another one. Marcus Smith obviously gone. Adam Hastings gone. Farrell will be gone. There's a guy that plays at Franklin's Gardens that's going to replace somebody else that's going to leave too, and his name's James Grayson. He's usually pretty good when he gets rolled out there. So he's not expensive.
He's on my team.
You held him,
because he's 157 or so, and it's like, I'll take it because he might, because they might, want to give. Because Bigger he keeps getting a knock too every time he plays. He starts limping. He's Roethlisbergian out there. So eventually Grayson's going to get a look too, just because they're going to want to rest Bigger, even when it's not an international window.
Truth.
So yeah, definitely somebody to have.
Yeah, and I will say Chris Boyd's usually somebody, even though they don't have to rest guys that don't play for England. Chris Boyd's usually one to listen to his guys and ask him, do you want to play? Do you not? If the answer is no, he doesn't play him. You know, so he's very good at that. So to his credit.
And at this point, might as well keep, because I also have George Ford.
Yeah,
so,
keep him. Keep riding him. And I'm hoping HA eventually isn't broken, and look forward to when that happens.
Yeah.
At the midfield, we're going to be missing Slade and Marchand, who are obviously two big scorers. And midfield's really hard to find good scorers consistently. Esther Hazen is definitely top of the lot right now for guys that aren't going to be playing. I like Dingwall. I think he's going to be fine. Jomo's going to be great. Yep.
He's not hurt.
I think Proctor's banged up. We'll see.
Okay. Or was he suspended? I can't. Now that you mention it, I can't remember what he was.
Yeah, I think he's banged up.
Okay.
So we'll see. And then with Farrell going away, Lazowski is also somebody to consider as well.
Yes,
because he's eligible at center. But so when he plays 10 and has the T, scores well. So that's something that's a guy to consider in the midfield.
Not Alex Good, not when he's at 10.
No. That is not his bread and butter by any means whatsoever. We're going to see some other guys leave out wide on the wing, the big one being Adam Radwan, obviously. Plenty of guys to fill that spot. Lina has obviously not gotten the phone call, so he's a thumbs up. Will Muir, Harry Potter as well.
Potter's got it,
quite good. Nadolo's not as you pointed this out the other way. Nadolo's not as expensive as I thought he was. And he's center eligible, so that might be somebody to consider as well. I'm
trying to figure out what maintenance I want to do with my team this week, and then swapping out Rona for Nadolo might be on the list, because especially if Ford is sticking around. There's a lot of continuity there.
Seemingly,
right. So, I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed not to do that. I think Ali Crossdale will be good when he comes finally gets to fucking another start. Like, we saw the goodness that was in him, and for whatever reason, Lee Blackett has gone away from it. I have no idea why. And then
Tyrone Green is still.
He should be Furbank was great. He should be your fullback. Him and Tom Parton should be 1 and 2. No question. No question about that in my mind.
I still have Will Muir too, who
Will Muir definitely
not nothing. He's had, but he had. I mean, everybody has a down week when they play Saracens. Still got 16, which isn't bad. So
Yeah, I think if they finally pull their heads from betwixt their cheeks over there at the rec, well,
he'll do well.
We'll storm the castle there.
Yeah, and with Rory, it sucks that Watson is hurt. We didn't mention that earlier.
Yeah, no.
Much love to Anthony Watson for another injury.
Lesson for you all, if you haven't, we've talked about this before. If somebody walks off the field after an NCI, it means jack shit. Okay. Yeah, right. If it's a non-contact injury, if they walk off the field, it doesn't mean a freaking thing.
Right. Can confirm. Been there, done that.
Seen it. Like, yeah.
Not only did I walk off the field, I carried my kit bag. I carried my the chair bag and like probably a couple things of water and a beer. And I still, yeah.
Hey, look at that. You tore your ACL.
0 ACL. So it doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't mean a freaking thing, kids.
What matters is that it was a non-contact injury and he's out. That's it. He's probably done.
Oh, I think it's hopeful that because he's walking. I'm like, it doesn't mean a fucking thing, man. It really doesn't. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Oh shit. Okay. Oh yeah, that really fun thing we like to do called start set.
I start.
Yeah, batter up.
Northampton versus Worcester.
Huzzah!
You remember the Leicester-Worcester match that's from this past weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Worcester are the worst fantasy defense. They're giving up 60 points per game more than the 12th place defense, which is Gloucester. So across the board, that's like 4 points per position.
Something
more than any other team.
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess with the 23, so 3 points per position, whatever. They're 10th or worse by position group, except to props, which really doesn't matter here because Northampton don't have props that you're going to start.
No.
But everyone else is probably a full go. The Saints, on the other hand, are the best fantasy defense overall. Their only weaknesses are lock and scrum half, where they're 6th in the Prem, and wing, where they're 9th. They're number 1 versus a fly half, which is a dramatic change because they've been by far the worst fantasy defense versus fly halves for the past couple of years.
Yeah, they've been easy pickings.
Right. So no longer the case. For the Saints, so again, stay away from the props. And really only ribbons at lock. The back row, I'm not a huge fan just because of the cost to points ratio. But everyone else, the whole back line is to go. Or Worcester, it's kind of the opposite. Sam Lewis, I think, would be good to kind of store on your bench if you have him on your team. Justin Clegg should score well at lock because especially if they do line out stuff. This week they decided to give us points for that, but he's also been tackling a lot and doing a lot of work that's getting him quality points that will translate regardless of the team he's playing against. Kvesic and Hines kind of go for it. And other than that, Milani Nanai is the only one I'd look for. He's the only last one who's averaging over 20 points per start. No, they're not scoring well. Oh, Worcester, I think, are also the worst attack. So
that would make a lot of sense then. Yeah, they like you saw it this past weekend. They really missed both Hines and Ellen Williams. Oof. All right, Gloucester and Newcastle. This is going to be played at King's Home, so bad news for Newcastle. They aren't great away from home sometimes, more often than not. For the Cherry and Whites, Ben Meehan, don't mind him at all. Not a bad price. His last 4 games have been 25, 26, 33, and 26. Newcastle are 9th against scrum halves. So,
there you go.
Yeah, there's that. Chris Harris, another one, not a bad price. Scored well in the limited action that he's having it. And Newcastle are 11th against centers. So, there's another one. I love Chris Harris as a player, too, just the same.
Can you not?
Yeah. We've hammered the drum against this guy, and God, if it's not clear, Johnny May, I can't not recommend this guy enough. He has one good match this year, and Newcastle are actually pretty tough against wings. They're 4th. Sit him, get rid of him if you can. Won't be worth holding him over the international period. So just
no, should not be under. How much? What's he? I wonder what he. How much?
He's got a decent ownership percentage, if I remember right, which is ridiculous. Yeah, whatever. Everybody else is lost.
Points for me.
Right. For the team, Newcastle, Trevor Davison. not been great so far, but Gloucester are dead last versus props, and he's probably their best scorer at the position. So if you have him and he starts, roll him out there. Jamie Blumeyer, if the team decide to roll him out after his England call-up, he scores well when he plays. So, and Gloucester middle of the pack against Hooks, so give him a thumbs up. Callum Chick, I was banging the drum for him earlier. I don't think I can recommend him here. Gloucester aren't bad against flankers, but are more. But if anything else, they're more generous to 7s and 8s, which is not what Chick plays. Usually, he plays 6.
Right.
So I mean, if he's deployed at 8, then that's bad news for Call Ferns owners.
Yeah, but he still kind of plays it that way. He still plays it as like a 6.5. So
there you go. So yeah, can't say I recommend him this week. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's a shame. On to the Stup for Quins versus Bath. Do you remember the Saracens versus Bath match from last week?
Absolute shit show.
Yeah. Bath are strong against flankers. They're 7th over. That's strong for them. And scrum halves they're 4th, and fullbacks they're 1st somehow. And they're worse everywhere else. They're really weak everywhere else. Quins are kind of middle of the road, but I'm sorry, Bath are the worst attacking fantasy team. They're almost tied with Worcester. It's that they're at
neck and
13 and 12. Great job. Yeah. So for the Quins, start low. They're both locks, as we said. Give them a look too. Not whoever's not at 6, hold off on that. Laude or Chisholm, no. But start everyone else. Special shout out to we've mentioned him enough in the last pod and now this one, Louis Lina, for the just revenge poop he's about to take against Bath. I hope he gets the opportunity to take. And then for Bath's sake, I kind of hope he gets the week off. For Bath, I'd look at McAnally, and at Ellis, Fox, and Bailey. Not so much else. I have a Jomo and Muir, but I'm gonna probably keep him on my bench. I don't expect much from them. I don't know that I like a Jomo running at Esterhazen.
Nope. He's gonna be trying to run away from him.
Right. And to be fair, he's done that really well. He's been very elusive. So I might. I don't think he'll sneak onto my team, but he'll be on my bench. And Muir, same thing. He'll be on my bench. Right.
Don't blame me there. Rugby club from Devon against the Exiles. For the host at Sandy Park. Jack Annard or Jack Andel, the likeliest candidates to replace LCD. Obviously, both are fine options. Should you be in a pinch at hooker, give them a whirl. Sam Skinner over Hill or Lonsdale at this point. Scores better when he's in either at 6 or lock, and eligible in obviously both those positions as well. So, and that's unlike Hill, who's only lock eligible. So, yeah, a little bit of dice there. So yeah, especially if he's at 4 on the pitch, stick him on your flank. Done. Genius. Said no one ever. Facundo Cordero scoring much better than his fellow back 3 teammates Hogg and Knoll, but as we discussed last week, Exiles eat wings, and only 2 of them have scored well. Only one of those was above 25, and that was Perry Humphreys in week 1. Right. So
and LRZ was literally an interception try from the other team's 22 away from doing jack and shit. So it's like obviously it takes fluke plays because Perry Humphreys scoring a try and a Louis Rees-Zammit finally breaking through because they make a mistake on an attack. Yeah, no, park them.
No. To Brentford's rugby team, the Exiles, Isaac Curtis Harris scored well last week in his first start, and the opposition. Yeah, and the opposition this week are dead last against flankers, especially generous to 7. So if he's at 7 again, he's a thumbs up, and he's a good play, especially at his price. A lot of
tackles.
Yes, he does, especially. And I think he scored last week too. That helped. Rob Simmons over Mafi or Coleman if he starts. Also a position there as a position that the hosts are weak against. Sorry, I was like just had a freaking space moment there. They're second to last. They're second to last there. Tuasue, I like him, but there are so many better number 8s out there, and I'm pretty sure is he still lock eligible?
He is, but
that's not someplace I'm really.
You want to go the other way around. You want to lock who's eligible at 8,
right?
not an 8 who's eligible at lock because the
exactly.
All the points are at lock.
Yeah. There's just so many guys that are more consistent and have a way bigger boom at 8. So if anything, stick them on your bench. If not, just chuck them.
Off to Welford Road, Leicester versus Sale. Both teams are leaders in points for and points against, but Leicester are better in both. This could look a lot like last week. Even if Sale are away. Or it could look like a Tonking because Sale kind of just their run of I guess kind of fortunateness in the backs. Yeah, we'll see. I feel like they don't have much of a back line, but every so often they just get a break. Anyway, Sailor number 2 versus fly halves, last versus fullbacks, kind of middle of the road everywhere else. Leicester are number 2 versus lock, number 4 versus fly half, number 2 versus center, and number 1 versus wing, which again isn't a problem because you're not playing any of those Sale backs. For Leicester, Genge, Dolly or Montoya, both are starter worthy, even from the bench, depending on your options. Wells and Sneeman, all the Safas in the back row, Van Staden, Liebenberg, these. They will make a ton of tackles because again, Sale aren't going to spin it too wide. So these guys are going to get that opportunity again to do the triple Z's on some unfortunate soul from the opposition. Yeah, stay away from the Leicester 9s outside of JVP. I think 4 is going to struggle because 10s do versus Sale. Just ask Marcus. But the centers and outside backs go nuts. For the Sale side, the Dupree's basically, the locks, Dupree, Curry, if he's playing, you're going to play him. You've spent too much on him to not play him. And Quirky, obviously. Outside of that, no, again, 10 and wider, just stay away.
I'm not excited about anything else outside of that on that team.
If Wilkinson had a boot, has there ever been a Wilkinson with a boot though? I mean, seriously.
I don't know. Never heard of it. Never heard of such a thing.
Never heard of it. If he was a better kicker, then he'd be a sneaky look for a while, but I'm not seeing it.
Right. Okay. Series and the Wasp. This should be a good one. For the series, Tom Wollstonecroft. I think we see Jinx for one more week before he disappears. But if it's Willie instead, he's a play and not that expensive, like we talked about before. And Wasps are second worst against hooks. So there's also that little thing. Big Billy, not a huge fan of his these days, but if you've picked him up, this won't be a bad week. Wasp middle of the pack against 8s. The last 3 starting 8s have gotten 24 plus. So
and he had an excellent try assist for Itoje last week. So
nice little around the corner there. Marco Riccioni, love the work he gets through on the field, but not a fancy prop that you want on your team right now. And Wasps are also second toughest against props. So whole lot of meh right there. For the Wasps. All right. So here's an interesting thing. So Jimmy Gopperth, if you're trying to figure out what to do with your 10, because I've been trying to figure that out for a while, apart from Marcus Smith, if you don't have the coin for that, he could do with your 10. He's fly F eligible. Give him the K. Series did give up 34 to Conan, and that was a lot of that was kicking. So just putting that out there, and that was at the StoneX. That wasn't away, and they're at the StoneX this weekend. So there's that idea as well. Ali Crossdale, we talked about him already. An old friend that walks into the StoneX this weekend. If he's at 15, it might not be such a bad play. Series have given up 20 and 30 to the last 2 fullbacks that they played. So there's that. Bassett. Talked about him before. Love him as a player, not as a fantasy asset right now. And series are mean to wings, and that includes Muir last week, who just completely bit it. Only one player scored over 20 on the wing against series this year. Yeah, and that's 6-8 wings, something like that at this point. So I wouldn't be excited about it.
All right, we're on to the of the weeks.
Hooray! So
my start of the week. I mentioned Louis lineup because I think he's going to have a day, but he's not in, I don't think, quite as fortunate a situation as Tommy Freeman will be for Northampton versus Worcester. So my start of the week will be Tommy Freeman.
Woo! Mine's coming from the same game. It's funny that you mentioned that you didn't like this group, but I'm going to go for it. This guy scored well in his last 2 starts. He's looking at a very good matchup. He'll also have a week of rest. he settled in nicely in the Midlands, and will be this. He is definitely going to make a splash this week. Because the Prem really lack number 8s in the league right now. Right. My start of the week for round 6 of the Prem is Northampton's favorite new Safa back rower, Jarno Augustus.
He is, yes, he's the real deal.
Yeah,
I appreciate his play. My sit of the week is would be a shocker last year, an absolute pants dropper of a sit of the week. This year, you're kind of like, you know what, his play matches his hairstyle. The team's going up. It's a bad matchup for him anyway. And he's just kind of a shell of what he used to be last year. And so my sit of the week this week, Tom Dunn of Bath.
Oh yeah. Jeez, not quite the same guy. Not getting those driving mall tries.
No, really it's just as I was saying, about Gus Creevy.
Mm-hmm.
Find you a hooker from a team that's mauling well. Dunn
does not fit that bill right now.
Beth really miss Elliot Stuke, don't they?
Can't imagine why. Yeah, it's not that Yules and McNally are bad, but Stuke is just something different. That's for sure.
Yeah.
For me, this guy has decent start of the season. He's a popular pick. He's been very hot and cold, though, literally alternating good weeks with bad weeks. And this week would be a bad one if we were going by that pattern. And his opposition does not like props as well. So he also does better when he gets that magic 60-minute minimum or 60-minute bonus. Obviously, more time on the field, more opportunity for points. Duh. I think he'll get worked too damn hard this week to reach that limit. So my study of the week for round 6 of the Prem is Wasp Big Kiwi Prop Chef Tuamanga Allen.
Oh, ouch. Harsh.
Yeah, man. I mean the pattern fits and the matchup does not look good.
That's true. That's true. But all it takes is one run, like if they get a point.
Oh, with him, I know.
So it's like, yeah.
Listen, I've been okay on these. I haven't been like home run on my sets, but I've been okay.
Look, that's good advice. That's all. I agree. It's your sit of the week is someone who he probably won't. I probably wouldn't start him anyway, but this week. But yeah, he's still going to make my bench, I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, put him there just in case he decides to fucking tool off.
Depends on what I decide to do with my team. I'm still plotting and
lots to think about. Lineups obviously dependent as well.
Oh, they so do. I make like 10 different plans, and then
they all blow up. Absolutely.
Because it's not just I want to start. It's like, oh shit, that guy. I completely forgot about that guy, and there he's starting. Oh, that's right. I should have him.
Right.
It's like,
something to that effect. It's like, God damn it, I can't do it all. Can't do it all, man. God damn it. Okay.
We'll be there for your planning help on our Friday morning.
Yes, we will.
Friday afternoon.
Yes, we will. Yeah, those of you in the UK, Friday afternoon. Feel free to hit us up beforehand too. All right, pick them. Northampton against Worcester. Is this really that hard? Probably not.
No, it is not that hard. It'll be the hosts.
Yeah. Gloucester and Newcastle.
Fuck you. I'm gonna go Gloucester.
Yeah, I am too.
Hosts and Newcastle are not.
Newcastle are not road warriors right now, so
right, and I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not buying into them for an away match just yet.
Same. Quins and Bath. Who?
Hosts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Quins
by a lot.
Exeter and London Irish.
Again, the hosts.
Yeah, hosts. Unfortunately, Irish haven't won a game yet, so
right.
Despite the fact that they've picked up some points,
and I'm not gonna pick a tie.
I'm not picking a tie. Fuck that shit. We're not talking footy here. We're talking rugby. There's a difference. Right. If I'm a betting man in footy, the tie is always in play. Leicester and Sale.
Tigers and Sharks. Leicester.
Yep. Same. And then Series and Wasp.
Oh, the team with the 10.
Right. I'm picking Series as well. So the home team sweeps it.
Although, again, not fair to Jacob Umaga. The team with centers against the
there's a
does
team with a
not have
midfield and
centers,
there's a team that doesn't have one, or at least only
Right.
has one actual center that's viable.
who's not playing because he's hurt. So,
Yeah.
or
Also that.
did he come back this week? I can't remember.
No, he was pictured in a sling,
Okay.
so he will not be back this week. I'm
No,
guessing.
he won't be back this weekend. No, he wouldn't. Yeah, certainly not this weekend.
No. Unless that's like a super precautionary thing, which
Mhm.
isn't something
They don't
unusual.
generally do that.
But yeah, that'd be. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it done. Like you put a guy
not
in
the
a
week
boot.
before you're playing.
No.
Yeah, but not
definitely
the boot maybe. Not a sling.
No. I agree. Okay, so that is it for fantasy. Hopefully everybody got some good stuff out of this. Again, thank you to our patrons, Alex and Duncan. We appreciate it. Join the crew, everybody. The water's fine.
It is.
Okay, so yeah, Friday we'll be back on the Twitters for advice and for conversation. If you want to hit us up early, that's okay too. That's a thing. You know, we're still online and all that stuff the day before as well, so you can do that. Especially if what you heard here raises a question for you, and we'd be happy to answer it.
And one other thing, also as a reminder to Jared, so I don't have to nudge him later. We will be putting this our notes from our start sits up on the Patreon as well. So
Right.
that'll just be there up tomorrow with the pod.
Yes, it will. Okay, so until next time, or until Friday, depending on when we talk to you, we'll catch you then. And we appreciate you guys for listening as always. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.
Later.
Cheers.